You've probably heard often that you need to stop watching content. You need to get off your phone. You need to stop watching things entirely. Get off completely off of Instagram. Get completely off of TikTok. Get completely off of YouTube. Because, people are addicted to these things often in society. It's like we can't get our eyes away from it. Every single thing is, we're so led, we're so focused on watching other people's lives, watching the content that other people are making, rather than, creating our own, rather than telling our own story, rather than documenting our own lives. We love to see other people do these things. And I do agree to an extent, like especially with short form, it's so easy to go down a slippery slope of just continuing to watch other people live their lives, continue to watch other people, gain success and achieve all their dreams, and then you just sit and you're like, you're eating chips on your couch or something, and you're just like you're watching someone else achieve everything that you want to rather than chasing it for yourself. But I would still argue that cutting out content completely from your life wouldn't necessarily be a good thing as well, because a lot of things that we watch are things that inspire us, things that motivate us. We see other people gaining success and we're like, you know what, if they can do it, then I can do it too. There's a level of inspiration. But a lot of the time with our younger generations, we've just come to the other side to where we're like completely engrossed in other people's lives rather than looking at other people and taking what they have and then applying it to our own lives, taking the steps that they took, taking the systems, taking the habits, taking the goals that they've set, and then applying it to our own lives. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to actually consume content the correct way. Consume content to truly help yourself, to build yourself up, to get the life that you truly want. First, I want you to go and evaluate all the content you watch. The things that pop up on your Instagram feed, your TikTok, your YouTube. Look at what are the things that tend to pop up. If you tend to have a lot of car things that pop up, okay, that's something that tends to pop up. If you have a lot of things that were cooking, maybe lots of things are self-development, lots of things that might be film and photography, like different things. Like, I want you to truly evaluate what are the things that come up on your feed. Then I want you to look at your following. Who are the people you follow? Because the people that you follow are ultimately going to play a humongous role in what you see. It's going to, what you see impacts how you see life. The eyes that what you expose yourself to is going to affect how you see everyday life. So truly look at the people that you follow, look at what type of content they're creating, what they're promoting in their lives, and yeah, evaluate those two things. Once you evaluate those two things, then I want you to really take a step back and think, is what I'm seeing, is what's constantly putting pushed in front of me, is it reflecting what I want in my own life? It might be good to like see, you might really have an interest in cars, but if you have an interest in like really making films and cinematography, and that's what you're trying to do, or maybe your whole entire thing, you're trying to get better with self-development. If you only look at cars and everything is like, a bunch of car edits and, those are cool, but are they going to help you achieve the goals that you want to? And I can speak on this myself. I love cars as one of my biggest passions, but I know that if I constantly watch things like that and that's all I watch for content, then it's not truly pouring back into my own life. It's not really helping me achieve the goals I want to, because what I want to do, with creating content, with my newsletter, with all my Notion products and all these different things in my brand, cars is not a part of it. It doesn't have any play. But maybe a person that they're trying to start a car channel, or they're trying to, they're working in a car dealership or things like that, or they're trying to sell car parts or whatever it may be. If it relates to that, then yeah, that might be something that's helpful. But it really all comes down to, you have to evaluate, is what is being shown in front of you constantly, is it helping you to move towards your goals, or is it hindering you? Is it wasting your time when you could be spending more time on something else? So evaluate that. Two, something you need to do, create another account. Create another account. It's really that simple. And I have two different accounts. I have a private Instagram account, which is, for more like friends and stuff that I have, like, friends I haven't like I know in person well, and all of that I have. And then I have my other account, which is more with my brand, and and there's like other more people that I know online, and then like different people that inspire me, things like that, and like brands and things that really inspire me and that I'm focused on. And the difference between those two accounts is absolutely amazing. What I see like on Instagram, like if I scroll on the one where it's the private one, I might get a bunch of like random stuff that's supposed to be like funny and different things like that, but it's really just stuff that's leading me down the Instagram real rabbit hole, the short form rabbit hole. And then my other account, which is my brand account, my public account, is a bunch of stuff that's a lot more inspiring. It's a bunch of stuff pushing me to be more creative, pushing, it's really challenging the creative muscles in my mind. It's helping me get inspired. It's motivation, all these different things because of what I choose to follow. So truly who you choose to follow and what you choose to follow really affects your feed. So that's why I recommend you have two different accounts. That way you like, if because inevitably you're gonna end up scrolling a little bit. Like it's just something that's gonna happen. But if you can be able to have an account to where you can scroll and it's gonna be something that's gonna be more motivational, it's gonna be something that inspires you, it's gonna be more content that is pushing you towards your goals. At least you're consuming short form content that's pushing you in the right way, that's pulling you to be more creative, pushing you to, get motivated to get up and go create something for yourself rather than, when you have with all your other friends. Because think about it this way, all your friends, every single person they're not gonna have the same passion. They're not gonna have the same drive to move forward like you do. Like it's just the facts. Like every single person they're not gonna have that same drive. They're not gonna have that same passion. They're not gonna all want it like you do. And you really have to filter yourself from that. And the things that they're gonna be liking, things that are gonna show up in their feed, which is gonna show up in your feed eventually. Like it's not stuff you need to see. So truly create two different accounts. If it's TikTok, well, honestly, on TikTok, you have no I wouldn't even recommend TikTok unless you're a creator for TikTok. TikTok really is not. I would really be very careful, like with TikTok. But yeah, even so, TikTok, Instagram, those are the two platforms, like the major two short form platforms. I would just recommend you create two accounts. One, it's more focused on things that you want to grow, thing that have to do with your brand, that have to do with your passions, they have to do with your goals. And then the other, because of course you want to be able to connect with your friends, check in, see what they have, but don't get too obsessed with it. Don't get don't go down that rabbit hole of just looking to reels and all these different things that are not pushing you to what you need to go to. And then three, number three, don't get caught up looking at other people's lives. And that's something that's easy on both accounts for short form. It's so easy to look at other people's lives, especially with stories, like with people going on stories and people with lives. It's so easy to get distracted, and you start having like jealousy, and you start coveting what other people want in what other people have in their lives. You start wanting everything that they have, and it starts becoming something where you seek to get things to please others rather than you're seeking to acquire things that you truly want, that are things that are helping you move towards your goals. You start living a life for others rather than for yourself, and for purpose, and for helping the people that you're called to help. Like that's what you really have to realize. Like stop living for other people. This constant cycle of just watching what others do, it's not healthy. We as humans, it's only now in the past, about the past like almost 3 decades that we've had social media to where we can check in on what everyone else is doing, because we're not humans are not we're not supposed to know what every single person is doing around the world constantly. And I'm not saying that social media is bad, because it's amazing that we're able to connect and resonate with other people. It's absolutely amazing. That is so amazing that we can be able to connect on other sides of the entire planet and truly resonate with other people, meet with other people, and not feel alone or feel like we're one of a few that have an interest in a certain goal, or just our different specific things that we're interested in. It helps really connect us. But when you're constantly checking on what everyone else is doing, like every single time someone puts a story, like you have to check it, you just have to check it, and then you end up scrolling, or like every single time you feel like you have to check in what everyone else is doing, that's not healthy. You begin living a life trying to please others rather than living a life for yourself, living a life of serving others rather than trying to please others. There's a humongous difference between living a life of pleasing others and living a life to serve others. When you live a life to please others, you seek to acquire things, to make yourself look good, to make yourself look elevated, to make yourself look high and worthy of other people's admiration. But then when you live a life of serving others, you're seeking to put others first. You're seeking to put value out into the world without even a return. When you serve others, you're seeking to put information, to give your value, to give your wisdom without seeking back. And when you pour into the world, it's just a law of how the world works, of how God made the world. Like you will get value back. You eventually will get value back, not necessarily immediately, but you will get it back. But when you live a life of serving others, it's selfless. When you live a life of trying to please others, it's selfish, because everything becomes just centered around you and trying to make you look better than everyone else, or make you look just as high as someone else. So you need to understand the difference. And then our next tip is long form. I would suggest you start watching more long form content. Stop just scroll rather than watching short form. It's so easy to where like, oh, let me take a break from work, even a 15-minute break. And then you go and you scroll on your phone rather than, you could watch a YouTube video, watch a movie, watch something else rather than short form. Short form is so dangerous because we have this instant pleasure to where it's instant gratification, instant dopamine hits over and over and over because you just scroll. It's so easy. But when you watch something that's long form, it takes more of your attention. It takes more time. You have to really sit there and be present in the moment. You have to pay attention. You have to wait. You really have to be patient for things to happen, and it builds this creative flow. That's why it's so important. I would say that YouTube is truly the best place to watch content on, not YouTube Shorts, but YouTube. When you're watching long form YouTube videos, when you're watching and listening to podcasts, those are amazing things because you're able to get tons of value, and you're not living that life towards everything is constant, retention seeking. And that goes into, you have to watch the right channels on YouTube as well, because if you only watch Mr. Beast videos, like no hate to him, or any of the other creators that, do a bunch of retention editing. But when you only watch channels like that, it's the same thing like short form, basically. Like every single thing is meant to grab your attention rather than you like getting that slow gratification, which is realistic to life, to where you can build patience, to where you can wait for the moment, and then you really become interested. Your mind is turning. You're allowing things to work. You're like, everything isn't instant gratification, which is the problem. Which is truly the problem. When you watch long form videos, you're able to get more information at a slower pace, which is often very helpful to your attention span. And I'm not saying like sometimes, you just want to know something quick and, watch a quick video on like TikTok or something. But a lot of time I need you to just realize that substitute the time that you would spend on Instagram or TikTok for something on YouTube. Find creators that reflect the goals that you want, that have the same morals that you want, that you have, that are achieving things that you want, are documenting their life, documenting the life that you seek to have, and watch those, learn from them, take what you're watching and apply it to your life. So this goes into my next point. Everything that you watch, learn from it. Learn from it. Don't watch a video and ever think that there's nothing to learn from. Even if it's a video for entertainment, maybe there's something you can watch in the editing style of it. Maybe there's something about how they're speaking, how they're living, their habits, their systems, how they interact with others, how they're a leader, how they're able to speak to you and you're able to resonate with it. Those are things, even if you're not a content creator, even if you're not a person who wants to create content, because, inevitably, not everyone is meant to create content, but when you watch how other people are able to speak to the camera, how they're able to grab your attention with how they're speaking, those are important skills you can take with that you can take with you everywhere. Like how people are charismatic in their videos, take that with you. Being charismatic is an amazing skill and it's something that truly helps you advance in life. Like, learn constantly from your videos. If you're watching a video for entertainment, there's something you can learn from it. Even if it's something small, it's better to learn something small than nothing at all. And I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but truly, it's better to learn something small than nothing at all. Learn and learn. Be in a constant state of learning. This is something I talk about. If you're not in a constant state of learning and a constant state of growth, you're falling behind. Life is like a current. I will always use the same demonstration. Life is literally a current because time is traveling. Time is constantly going. And if you choose to stay stagnant, you're falling behind because everything else is moving forward. Slow motion is better than no motion. Because if you slowly move and the current is also moving, then at least you're advancing, you're not falling behind. But if you stay stagnant, you're gonna fall behind because time waits for no man. Death is the only thing promised to any man. Like, that's the only thing you're promised for sure in life. Like, you're eventually gonna die. Like, and as much as all of us want to think, oh, we're gonna live to 100, realistically, that's not the case for most people. Most people will not live to 100. Like, we all hope to, and I would hope we all do, but that's not the realistic case. There are things that happen, people get of old age, and you don't know when your time is, so you have to constantly be moving towards your goals, evaluate your life, constantly be learning. So that's why content is so important, because it's inevitable you're gonna watch content. There's no person that will never watch content, that will never listen to music, never have any bit of dopamine in their life. Like, that is completely impossible, and it's ludicrous to ever think that that's how you're gonna live your life. Because I can tell you right now, you can go for that for you'll go for a few weeks, maybe you might even get to a couple months, but eventually it's gonna happen. You're gonna get exposed to content, so it's better you use the systems that are already in place and use it to your advantage. That's the key. Learn from your content. Be careful with what you're watching. If you're watching something that is gonna bring down your morals, that's gonna put you in a place of compromise, don't watch those things. If it's something that is it's just gonna, it's just grabbing your attention and it's just only dopamine hits, don't watch that content. It's that simple. I'm not saying don't watch content, but be careful what you watch. Watch less short form, watch more long form, and watch things that will add value to your lives. Add value to your life. That's the key to watching content. Now, that's the end of the video. And any of the other people, if you got into this part of the video, that means you've probably been watching for a long time. And yeah, I'm sorry for the last 2 videos. The last 2 days, I did not post any videos. I was just really tired, and abnormally tired is crazy. And I need a little 2-day break from creating videos, but now I'm back to it. A new video every single day for the rest of my life. That's what I'm planning to do. Just continue to give wisdom and knowledge. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Be careful with what content you're watching. Consume content the right way. Consume content to learn, to better yourself, to improve, things that add value to your life. Stop watching things that are just pure dopamine hits. Get things that are slow gratification and that will truly change your life.